These celebs have stood up for what they believe in, gender equality. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 female celebs who called out the gender pay gap.
I think it's a conversation that we need to have, and hopefully there can be some real action placed towards it.
Right.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at female celebrities who have spoken out against this issue and used their platform to raise awareness.
As a woman, we almost put this gender bias in ourselves, maybe, possibly. That's why I wanted to just open up and say, I feel this way.
Number 10, Priyanka Chopra.
6 months of lying to each other. We've done that before.
As a rising star in Hollywood and certified superstar in Bollywood, Priyanka has dealt with a lot when it comes to fighting for equal pay in two different worlds and cultures. In an interview with Glamour, she spoke about how women in the film industry are told they're replaceable, since their job is usually just to stand behind a man anyway.
And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. Ladies, listen to me.
Because of her experiences, she's become a major advocate in the talk against income inequality. She's used her platform to speak candidly about the issue, calling it a global problem rather than just a film industry issue.
Everywhere you go, there are very few females who get to break that glass ceiling and get paid in compensation for their work, but whereas when it comes to men, there's a certain entitlement to it.
Number 9, Amy Schumer.
Get up off your ass for the baddest bitch, Amy Schumer!
A self-proclaimed feminist, Amy took a lot of flack when people learned that she asked for a pay increase for her Netflix special, The Leather Special, after finding out that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle were getting paid $20 million for their specials versus her $11 million.
I tweeted out a photo of myself wearing just underwear. Nothing but underwear. Thank you, just the women. What the
After receiving a ton of backlash, Amy went on to clarify on her Instagram that she wasn't asking for the same amount of money as her fellow comedians, but that she was worth more money than the initial offer, since she's the first and only female comedian to sell out stadiums. Amy made it clear that pay inequality is an issue, and that it's okay to fight for your worth.
I am blacking out tonight. Anybody?
Number 8, Natalie Portman.
And here are the all-male nominees.
Known for her incredible acting ability and intellect, Natalie Portman has been in the film industry since she was a kid, making movies ranging from blockbusters to her Oscar-winning performance in Black Swan.
Taking the role of our new Swan Queen, the exquisite Nina Sayers.
You'd think that would earn her equal pay, if not more, than her male co-stars. But sadly, that's not the case. She revealed that she was paid 3 times less than Ashton Kutcher, her co-lead in 2011's No Strings Attached, a movie she did after she won the Oscar. Her revelation was shocking given her success, but she's become more vocal in the fight for gender parity, calling out Hollywood for its sexism. Number 7, Charlize Theron.
You cannot defeat me!
Charlize Theron is one of the most kick-ass women in Hollywood, but even she has fallen victim to the gender pay gap. After the 2014 Sony hack made details about her pay for Snow White and the Huntsman public knowledge, she used the information to negotiate an equal paycheck to that of her male co-star, Chris Hemsworth, in the sequel, The Huntsman: Winter's War.
You know, when people ask me, like, what is feminism to you, it's to be fair, you know, and I think that we should be valued just as much as our counter partners who we work with just as hard.
At face value, it may not seem like that big of a deal, but her actions signal to other women that it is okay to ask for more money, despite the perception that women who do so are judged as being pushy or demanding.
When you look at the world, you know, we're 50% of the population. Like, where is our place? Like, where is our value? We bring half of it to the table. We have to start being valued that way.
Number 6, Beyoncé.
I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
Throughout the years, Beyoncé has exercised political force just as powerful as her cultural influence. She's become increasingly more comfortable fighting for gender equality, first by calling herself a feminist, and then putting that message in her music, like in Flawless.
Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
But one of her boldest and most surprising moves was penning the essay Gender Equality is a Myth for the Shriver Report. In that essay, Beyoncé wrote about how the average woman makes only 77% of what a man makes, and how men need to demand equal pay for women in the fight for gender equality. Her powerful words should be required reading for everyone.
Look how far we've come from having no voice to being on the brink of making history.
Number 5, Patricia Arquette.
I just thought there would be more.
Most actors wouldn't spend a significant portion of an awards acceptance speech calling out pay inequality, but most actors aren't Patricia Arquette. During her speech for her Best Supporting Actress win at the 2015 Academy Awards for Boyhood, she used her time in the spotlight to highlight the issue of the wage gap between men and women in the US.
When we look at equal pay, we see the highest educated women have the biggest pay gap with men, and also the lowest paid workers, which are women. So it's the glass ceiling, sticky floor analogy that they use.
Her words were a call to action for equal rights, and she's continued to raise awareness about the issue by giving interviews about fair pay laws and calling out the inequity for women behind the camera, as well as in front.
But it wasn't only about actresses. It actually also revealed that other departments, there was great wage disparity, editors and sound mixers and all kinds of different things where females were paid less than men.
Number 4, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Irving's being a mean, boring man saying that he doesn't want me to come tonight.
Tell him he's crazy.
Well, I agree. But tell him yourself.
It'll be a party without you.
Can you imagine?
After emails in the 2014 Sony hack came out and revealed the pay disparity between J-Law and Amy Adams versus their male co-stars in American Hustle, it sparked a debate on the gender pay gap in Hollywood and made Jennifer an advocate for the issue.
I know that I've always kind of carried a habit of submissiveness with the idea of that makes me more likable.
She took the opportunity to pen a letter for Lena Dunham's Lenny letter about how women are socialized to settle for less as a way to be deemed likable and easy to work with. Since then, she's used her platform to speak about the issue, not only for herself, but on behalf of the women who can't.
I have just as much of a right to speak. And with something like that, was something that's so clearly unfair, if I don't use my voice for women who don't have a voice, then what's the point?
Number 3, Catt Sadler.
I saw it last night. I needed a drink after. It's dark, it's twisted, it's heavy, it's provocative. Why in the world did you want to do this?
As a host on the E! Network, Sadler was used to reporting on celebrity stories, not being the story. But in December 2017, Catt became the newest face in Hollywood to join the fight over income inequality. She left E! After finding out that her co-host, Jason Kennedy, made double her salary, when she felt that she did as much, if not more, work than he did for the company. After her efforts to negotiate a pay increase failed, she left the network after 12 years. Her story struck a chord with numerous women, including Deborah Messing and Eva Longoria, who boldly spoke up about Catt's situation during E! red carpet coverage of the 2018 Golden Globes.
I was so shocked to hear that E! doesn't believe in paying their female co-hosts the same as their male co-hosts. I mean, I miss Catt Sadler, and so we stand with her.
Number 2, Emma Watson.
I am from Britain, and I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts.
Since her Harry Potter days, Emma Watson has become one of the most visible advocates for gender equality. A proud and vocal feminist, Emma has used her platform to call for increased rights of women around the world when it comes to things like pay, healthcare, and education.
We want to end gender inequality. And to do this, we need everyone involved.
She gave an incredible speech at the United Nations to launch He for She, a gender equality initiative aimed at using both men and women to solve the problem of gender inequality through advocacy. To promote the cause, Emma's given numerous talks and interviews about the issue, including getting Lin-Manuel Miranda to rap about the pay gap.
Yo, it's Lin, and I have to laugh. How can we not be equal? We're like half.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I don't think it's just about salary, and I think this is the thing about Jennifer's quote that I really responded to. It's about finding your voice as a woman.
There's also misinformation out there. Like, someone wrote an article once that said that I made a certain amount of money for The Martian. Mm-hmm. I made less than a quarter of that in reality.
Wow.
And so people are already saying, well, yes, she's making a lot less than her male co-stars because she's making this. I made less than a quarter of that in reality. So there is a huge wage gap in the industry.
Number 1, Oprah Winfrey.
I don't think it's changing. I think the conversation has hit a critical moment.
As a fierce advocate for women, Oprah has used her voice and influence to fight against the gender pay gap throughout her career. In an interview, she shared her story about not making the same amount as her male co-anchor early in her career, and quitting her job because of it.
I remember going into my boss in 1980 in Baltimore, saying that Richard Scher, who was co-hosting, Morning Richard, co-hosting People Are Talking, was making far more money than I did, and we did the same job. And my boss said at the time, but do you have children?
Later at a different job, she was denied her demand that her female producers receive the same pay as their male counterparts. She gave her boss an ultimatum, either pay up or risk a boycott. She eventually got what she wanted, but the experience taught her to become her own boss and own the rights to her television show.
So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Ms. Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.